My name is Keena. I work as Countryside Management Specialist in Teagasc, and I lead the development of biodiversity and agri-environment schemes. Today I'm talking about a piece of research which is currently part of a PhD under Dr. Jim Kinsella in UCD. The title of the research is an examination of biodiversity practices on dairy farms in County Waterford. The reason I am doing this research, the background to it, is that biodiversity is important to farmers for three main reasons: because of the policy, because of direct payments to farmers, and also because of marketing of agricultural produce, in particular the dairy produce here. From the policy point of view, Ireland is a signatory to the Convention on Biological Diversity, and as such has committed to the conservation and sustainable use of biodiversity. A meeting in Nagoya in Japan in 2010 adopted a revised and strategic plan for biodiversity for the years 2011 to 2020. Under the basic payment scheme, farmers now, part of their 30% of their payments are now attributed to what we know as greening, which again is the promotion, the practices that are good for biodiversity. In 2013, Board BIA launched the Dairy Sustainability Assurance Scheme, with plans to invest 3.5 million in a targeted marketing campaign under the banner of Origin Green to promote the Irish produce and how sustainable it is. It's about driving the development of an industry worth over 3 billion euros, which is also expanding. The research questions are: what is affecting dairy farmers' decisions on biodiversity practices? What are the biodiversity knowledge transfer methods that work? What are the challenges for dairy farmers? And what are the challenges for Teagasc advisors to effect change in biodiversity practice? My methodology was I visited 150 of the 750 or so dairy farms in Waterford, a random selection of dairy farmers, and of different sizes categorised into small, medium and large. What we have so far is a comprehensive data set of facts on biodiversity practice on dairy farms in Waterford. And some new facts that have come out is that the average field size is 14 hectares. These dairy farmers have on average about 1,000 metres of watercourse on their farms. 82% have all watercourse fenced, and 61% either are or have been involved in agri-environment schemes. What I can say so far is that farmers are positive about biodiversity. Only one farmer, who was an elderly farmer in his 80s, who was still farming in partnership with his son, couldn't fathom what I was doing, somebody from Teagasc asking about birds and bees and habitats. But the rest understood. They understood the relevance of biodiversity to agriculture, but what is lacking is an understanding of the detail. For example, when I asked them which specific areas on their farm were good for wildlife, it was poorly answered. There was lots of mention of pheasants, which again, people who understand and have the advantage of studying biodiversity know that the pheasant is not a native species, and we're not particularly concerned about it in biodiversity terms. There was also confusion because of pest species with the messages there, but in general they were positive. What we hope to achieve from this piece of research is to identify the gaps in knowledge on the biodiversity practices that farmers need to know, and what is the best method to get that information to the farmers to effect biodiversity change for the good of biodiversity and agriculture.